Hello, moi! Hauska nähdä. Mun nimi on Raisa. Hello, my name is Raisa. Nice to meet you. Today we are going to talk about Finnish language. Few peculiar things about this language which may help you to understand how the language works and how you should study it. So let's go. So our content today is Finnish is different. What makes Finnish easy? Not difficult, easy. We talk about also that verbs change, nouns change, and as well we talk about spoken language, how putting the words together make new words. We borrow from others, we add endings to the words, and lastly, which things will help you to understand Finnish in the beginning of your studies. So yes, Finnish is very different from many other languages. We have letters as ä, ö, y, which are with the a with the dots, o with the dots, and then u, y. What is the difference between these two? You will learn later on, but now simplified. Ä is in the front. It is where your mouth and everything makes you look really ugly. And so is as well. Whereas a and o are behind. A, ä, o, u, y. Let's do it together. A, ä, o, u, y. And this word here, which is spelled actually a bit funny, but I will say it out loud as it is. Jäätelö, töttörö. Jäätelö, töttörö. You can practice this and make it fun. Why Finnish is easy? What makes it easier than other languages to learn? Firstly, we don't have any articles. So you don't need to think about, for example, in Swedish, there is en, et. In English, there is the, ön, and you don't know when to put which one. In Finnish, we only have the word. So a car in Finnish is auto, simply auto. It's not das Auto or whatever it is in German, only simply auto. Another beautiful thing about Finnish language is what I want to show you also a video about. This is hän.
This is Han. This is all of us. Born in the same hospitals as everyone else, Han opens Han's eyes for the first time. After being weighed and measured, Han is sent out into the world. As a child, Han is free to explore nature and wander the city safely. A long childhood continues through school, which Han attends with peers from all walks of life. And Han doesn't have to come from a wealthy or highly educated family to find opportunities to go further. Through changes, big and small, the ground has been laid for Han to go as far as Han wants. But being ambitious doesn't mean Han can't take time off to nurture family life. Han knows that a good balance in work and life leads to success in both. And every now and then, Han needs the time and space to just breathe. And although Han doesn't live in a perfect society, and knows that things have been fixed before. You, me, him, her, hän. The inclusive Finnish pronoun that stands for equal opportunity.
Pretty cool, isn't it? So indeed, hän is a one word for he or she. We don't separate, we don't know, is it female or male? We'll just have one inclusive word, hän, which stands for all of us. Okay, then a few things about verbs changing. So one thing important to understand in the very beginning of your studies is that words change, not only verbs, but also nouns. If you can't recall what is a verb, verb is a thing that you do. So for example, I have here an example about I speak. I speak. Minä puhun. So verb here is speak. What do you do? I speak. That is a verb. So verbs change according to these three questions. Who? Minä, I. When I say I speak, I say minä puhun. So the end of the word changes. Puhun. And that's how I know, aha, it's I. Minä puhun. But when I say sinä, you, sinä puhut. So ending changes. Sinä puhut. Hän puhuu. Hän puhuu. They also change based on when. So if you look on this side, you can see the different times that are happening, the past tense as well here. The helping thing here is that they are exactly the same as in English, apart from one thing, and I will let you know soon. Puhun is I speak. Puhuin, I spoke. Olen puhunut, I have spoken. Olin puhunut, I had spoken. En puhu, I don't speak. So also the word changes in the end at the word ei, no, ei, en puhu. Minä en puhu, I don't speak. Sinä et puhu, sinä et puhu, you don't speak. So the one thing that is different is that we don't have future tense because we so intensively live in the future already that we actually use only the present tense. Puhun might be that I speak today, now with you. It might also be that I speak with you tomorrow. Puhun huomenna. And lastly, also how. So we express things, for example, I would speak. I would speak. I would say in Finnish, puhuisin. So I put this would in the middle. Puhuisin. Puhuisin. I would speak. Puhutaan. Let's speak. So important here, you don't need to remember all of these. Oh my gosh, so many things to remember. Don't worry, you will learn them all. Important thing to accept at this stage is that accept that the words change. They change in the middle, they change in the end. There's so many ways we can change the words, but it's still the same word. And one thing that I want to also comfort you many times to come ahead, most of the times when you make the mistake in the endings or in the middle or somewhere, those small mistakes don't interrupt me from understanding what you want to say. So don't worry about them too much. That was verbs, what you do. Now we go to the nouns. If you can't remember what is a noun, noun is a thing, a person. It can also be describing something, word such as kaunis, beautiful. That's also a noun. Okay, so nouns change too in Finnish language. And this is the first. How do nouns change? Here we have a word, thing, talo, talo. And there is 3 pictures below here that you can see. I usually like to say these as a traffic lights in a way, that this one, where you are at one place, question word in Finnish is missä. Question word for where at, where in is missä in Finnish. And now take a look. The answer. You know the word talo. Tämä on talo. You know the word talo, and now I'm asking you, missä? Missä? Aha! Talossa. So listen to the question carefully. Missä means that there's no movement away to, there's no movement. You are in one place. For example, question. Missä sinä asut? Where do you live? Missä sinä asut? So this question already tells you live in one place. You are in one place. You are not moving anywhere. The second one, or actually I will go first here because that we need more, right? We are usually talking where we are going to, not maybe so much where we are coming away from, but where you are going to a house. I'm asking a question word. There's 2 question words here that I could say mihin, mihin, minne is another one. Now you are going towards to some place. You are thinking about the place where you are going to. So if in traffic lights, this was red, no movement, you can't drive when there's a red light, right? This one is a green light. And when you have a permission to go forward, you are already thinking where you are going to, right? So mihin, minne sinä menet. This is movement towards to some place. For example, muutan Suomeen. I'm going to move to Finland. Muutan Suomeen. I move to Finland. Muutan Suomeen. Here, house. Taloon. Mihin? Taloon. Menen taloon. And then there is this third traffic light, which is away from some place. So in a way, you can think that when there is a yellow light and you need to either prepare to stop or you need to prepare to go forward, you are kind of looking back and thinking where you are leaving, looking at the other cars. Are they also driving at the same time? This is question word in Finnish is mistä. Missä talossa? Mistä talosta? And this question word, mistä, means away from somewhere, movement away from someplace. Talosta. This can also mean, for example, in a question that you will soon also know, mistä sinä olet kotoisin? Where are you from? Mistä sinä olet kotoisin? Mä olen kotoisin Suomesta. Suomesta. Suomi, Finland. Suomi, Finland. Missä sä asut? Mä asun Suomessa. Mistä sä olet kotoisin? Mä olen kotoisin Suomesta. Mihin sä muutat, kun osaat suomea? Where you are going to move when you know Finnish. Mä muutan Suomeen. Mihin? Suomeen. Missä Suomessa talossa? Mistä Suomesta talosta? Mihin Suomeen taloon? Okay, so that was one change that happens to the words. We express no movement, we express movement away from someplace and movement towards someplace, to someplace. Next one. Nouns also change for so-called grammatical reasons. For example, why? What kind of grammatical changes? There was already this expression of location, towards, to, at someplace, coming from someplace. Well, here you can see a sentence next to me. Matti näki Pekan. This means Matti saw Pekka. Okay, you can see the name is already a bit different. Pekka, but Pekan. Pekka, Pekan. What is happening there is that actually in Finnish, because we mark who saw whom, we mark the so-called object here. Who is seeing who? If I change the order in English, Pekka saw Matti, it changes the meaning a bit, doesn't it? Matti saw Pekka, Pekka saw Matti. But if I change the order here, without changing the ending of Pekan, I will say Pekan näki Matti. Pekan Matti näki. Matti Pekan näki. They are all the same. It's still Matti who is seeing Pekka. So this is one of the reasons why we are changing the words in the end. You will learn all these grammatical reasons as well. I'm sure you will probably hear also some words which I'm not a huge fan of, but you will hear the words such as partitiivi, genitiivi. So these words, again, my hint to you is learn the question words. So in English, all of these I have here. Mikä, mitä, minkä. I would just say what in Finnish, in English. But in Finnish, they mean a bit different thing. So, for example, I have a couple of words here. I have tyttö, which is a girl. Tyttöä, tyttöä. So let's start with a word that maybe you know already, to love. Minä rakastan sinua. I love you. So here as well, tyttö, tyttöä. Minä rakastan tyttöä. Minä rakastan mun tyttöä. I love my girl. Tyttöä, tyttöä, mitä, ketä, ketä sinä rakastat? Who do you love? Mikä, mitä, minkä. Here as well, vesi means water, vesi. But when we drink it, juon vettä. So it actually changes quite a lot. Vesi, vettä. But the common thing here is the ending. Ää. It can also be a. A. Minä rakastan sinua. But in the end, in this word, when there is a question, mitä, ketä, who. So my name, for example, is Raisa. Mikä sun nimi on? Mun nimi on Raisa. Mitä, ketä, who. Ketä sinä katsot nyt? Who are you looking at now? Ketä, mitä? Ketä sinä katsot? Sinä katsot Raisaa. Sinä katsot videota. Minkä? Kenen? Whose? Raisan. So this N in the end comes in the end of the word. For example, down you can see tytön. If it was my name, it is Raisan. Raisan. So there are 3 so-called grammatical forms in Finnish language. And these are the question words for that. Mikä, mitä, minkä. If it's a person, then it's kuka, ketä, kenen. But the same thing. They are, for grammatical reasons, one of them being this one. We can change the order without changing the meaning. Again, do not worry too much, because it doesn't make a huge difference if you say syön omenan, I eat an apple. Syön omenaa, I eat apple. No huge changes in there, for sure. Okay, I told already, minä rakastan sinua is I love you. And now I want to say one great thing about Finnish compared to the Nordic countries a bit. So let's look at a video.
But the nice thing about it too is that Finnish just sounds so badass when you speak it. Like if all the other Nordic countries have the same way of saying I love you. You know, in Icelandic, jag älskar dig. In Swedish, jag älskar dig. In Danish, jag älskar dig. In Norwegian, jag älskar dig. Because the Norwegians always end everything by jumping an octave. You know, they love ski jumping and they talk like they're ski jumping. Like, oh, here comes another semester. You know, they always. You don't even need to listen to what a Norwegian says. You just wait for him to go, whoop, and he's finished. You know, it's like, oh, det är väldigt trevligt prisfestival i Reykjavik. But in Finnish, they don't say I love you as jag älskar dig. It's minä rakastan sinua. Which doesn't sound like anything, you know. That doesn't sound like I love you in any other country than Finland, to be honest. That sounds more like a pay the money by Wednesday, you know.
Yes, that's what Finnish is like. Pay the money by Wednesday. Minä rakastan sinua. So indeed, for grammatical reasons, we also say minä rakastan sinua. Sinua. And as well, I could say minä rakastan kahvia, koska olen suomalainen. I love coffee because I'm Finnish. Then, couple of words about spoken language. I'm sure you have heard a lot of rumors. You probably have seen a lot of memes about this thing. I would say that please don't worry about it too much. Of course, we can scare people that Finnish language is so complicated and we have so many dialects and it's so difficult to understand when people speak. But actually, that is the case in many languages. I have been in England and not being able to understand a word another person is saying. So yes, it is true that the spoken language is very different from the written language in Finnish, but actually also what is important for you? Well, my honest opinion is that speaking is the most important thing. When you come to Finland, we ask, puhutko suomea? Which means, do you speak Finnish? We are not asking, do you understand Finnish? Or we are not asking, do you speak correctly Finnish? We just ask, puhutko suomea? Do you speak Finnish? So there are certain things which change. Not all the words change, but this is also something that you need to start to accept, that we actually have a little bit different spoken language than written language. For example, the most common words, minä olen, which we use a lot. I am, of course. We talk about a lot what you are doing. Mä oon in spoken language. I'm saying mä oon. It depends a bit where you're from in Finland. You might also say mie olen, mä oon, mä olen, and so on. However, only the most common words that we use a lot change this much. So, for example, tulen is a similar word. I come, of course, that is also very often we talk about going to places, coming to places. Mä tuun in Finnish is I come. Mä meen in Finnish is I go. Whereas in written language, it would be minä menen, mä meen. Here you can see as well, this is what usually all the Finnish language books teach you first. Me menemme. Honestly, in my life, I have met one person who spoke me menemme. Everyone else is saying me mennään. And actually, this word is even easier to form than me menemme. So this is one common change that we do. Mennään also means let's go. We also shorten some words. So here, for example, is opettaja. If you already have your oma opettaja, your own teacher, you can call them also ope, a teacher. Opettaja, ope, a teacher. So don't be too worried about the spoken language. Learn them, especially the numbers, because when you go to the shops and you think that now you know the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you go to the shop and they say you 22,30 €. That's the language you need. And it's so damn long word, 22, that we want to make it shorter too. We want to be efficient with our language. So we only say 20, not instead of 20. There's always a logic behind. Some Finnish words, and these are usually the words that you also see in the memes that, oh my God, this is the longest word in Finnish language, which doesn't make absolutely no sense and no one uses that word. But it's a meme and it's fun and people laugh about it that, oh, Finnish is so hard. There is usually logics behind these long words. Often they are combined words such as tietokone. Tietokone, computer, means knowledge machine. Tietokone. Kirja, book. Hylly, shelf. Kirjahylly. Jää, ice. Kaappi. Jääkaappi. So you only need to know in here where the one word ends and another one begins, but don't worry, you will also get there for sure. Sometimes you see also these memes that Finnish is so different that we say it so fully differently than in all the other languages. We do borrow from others. So we use the words from other languages as well. We have words such as kahvi, halli, poliisi, teatteri, for example. Pankki, posti, that you can almost guess. We just put I in the end. and then we make it like a Finnish word. We also add endings to make new words. Here is an example. Rauha, rauhallinen. That would make sense also in English. Peace, peaceful. Aurinko, sun. Aurinkoinen, sunny. Tuuli, wind. Tuulinen, windy. Rauha, rauhallinen. Aurinko, aurinkoinen. Tuuli, tuulinen. Suomi, suomalainen. Finnish. So we also add endings to make new words. Lastly, I want to say to you to listen to the question. You also have in this material some question words that I recommend you to learn in the beginning. It will help you in your Finnish language studies. So usually in the beginning of your studies, Finnish asks the questions, right? You are not asking too many things yet. So how to know what is the right form in the answer? Listen carefully to the question. Here are the question words. The first three were grammatical. Mikä, mitä, minkä. Everything in English, what. But do you remember? Mikä, this is the basic form of the word that you can find from the dictionary. If it was a person, the question was kuka, kuka. Raisa. Mitä is also what in English. Now add a or ä in the end. Juna, junaa. Iso auto, big car. Isoa autoa. If it was a name, ketä? Raisaa. Minkä. Do you remember what was this? What do I add in the end? If you can't remember, look at the picture. Minkä. Do you remember that? Ooh, it was in the middle of the word, the hint. Minkä. Junan, n in the end. Ison auton. Ison auton. Now the location, remember? Missä? Missä sinä asut? I'm asking missä. Aha, you already know. Junassa, isossa autossa. Mistä? Mistä sinä olet kotoisin? Where are you from? Junasta, isosta autosta. You can hear the ending. Mistä? Junasta, isosta autosta, Suomesta. Mihin? Junaan, isoon autoon. So, in the beginning, learn the question words, listen carefully. The question, we give you an answer for the right form in the question word. Also remember that words that belong together, make sense together, like a big car, they go together, they work together. So you can see here as well, like for example, mitä sinä ostit? What did you buy? Ostin ison auton. I bought a big car. Ostin ison auton. Now, that's it. And I want to wish you the best of luck with your Finnish studies. Iloa, enjoy, happiness, joy for your studies. Iloa ja onnea opintoihin. Joy and good luck with your studies. Nähdään, see you, nähdään Suomessa. See you in Finland. Moikka!